Going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here. And are you like me, where you got just a bunch of these little Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash solo miners? The Bitaxes, the NerdQaxes, all of them are pretty much just sitting there, taking up space, not even running, and pretty much considered wasted money at this point. Now, they could be off for various reasons. One of them, maybe it just gets too hot and they're overheating all the time. That seems to be very common, especially with the air-cooled versions in the summertime. Or maybe you pop some fuses, which seems to be common as they warm up as well. Now, there are new ways becoming available to still solo mine Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash without even having to buy any hardware, without having to worry about your power costs, maintenance, heat, all that stuff, making life a lot more easier. And that's all thanks to LuqEE. So that does lead us to LuqEE, a solo Bitcoin as well as Bitcoin Cash mining rental hash rate system where you don't need any hardware. It is a platform that lets anyone solo mine Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash with no hardware required. That's right, no hardware. So how do you mine something if you don't have any hardware? On top of not needing hardware, it makes things really easy because now you don't have hardware costs involved anymore. Technical complexity, setup friction. Obviously, some people get down to it. They just don't know how some things work. And then the stuff we talked about earlier, you got your noise issues as well as your electricity bills where it does add up depending how many you have. So here is my dashboard, and supposedly you can rent industrial grade mining power from as low as $2.99 per week and get mining in under 5 minutes directly to your own wallet. So we can see I have no wallets connected here, so I'm going to add some. So I'm just going to come in, find my BTC Newton address. So that's right here. We're going to take that, copy it. I'm going to put that in my BTC spot here. Now, Bitcoin Cash, because you can do either one. So it's always good to have both ready to roll. And supposedly you can also split hash rate and solo mine both of them. So it looks like I got my addresses in here. I'm going to save. Yes, confirm and save. I know exactly where they came from and everything, and I know what they look like here. But if for reference, you should look at the first 4 or 5, compare that to your address, look at the last 4 or 5, compare that to your address, and do the same thing here, for your Bitcoin Cash, just to make sure your addresses are correct. Because that would suck if you end up finding a block and you had your address wrong and you get nothing. Okay, so I have my wallet addresses in. Now we need some type of hash power. I don't have any of that yet. So we got to go to no active miner. So you can simply click on this right here, or you can go to the store on the side. Either one will go. And then now it brings you to this page right here. So you got your one-time purchase if you just want to test something out for either a week, a month, or a year. This is only for 100 gigahash, so not very much. The average is probably around 1 terahash. I think that most people would probably be going for 1.5, and you can actually go all the way up to, it looks like 50 terahash. There's only 2 packages left available for the 50 terahash here, depending on, it looks like, for any option. So there's 2 packages available, and you can kind of lock it in there. But I think the 1 and 5 terahashes are probably going to be the most common. And again, like I said, this is the one-time purchase. It's going to be more expensive if you do an actual subscription where, it'll renew every week, renew every month, or renew every year. You get a little bit more of a deal than just straight up doing the one time. But the one time would be good if you want to do a quick weekly test on something to see if it actually works and what things are looking like to get used to the program. Now, just looking around here, it looks like the absolute lowest one you can get here is the base miner, which is 100 gigahash, and there's over 1,000 available. On the weekly package is only $2.99 a week, so that's probably a good way to probably test this out. And then you can either cancel your subscription or whatever. You can use credit cards as well as crypto by the looks of things here. But, the main thing here is you actually allowed to use credit cards instead of using your own crypto. Now, I know that kind of sounds weird because we're trying to get into this world where everyone uses crypto. So using it more often seems to be the best choice here. But again, we're all trying to hodl and become Lambo drivers. So anyway, coming in here, we got our lowest one. But again, I still feel like the LuqEE Miner or even the Pro Miner packages are probably going to end up being the most popular for most users out there. Now, once you do get up and running, everything should be within your dashboard here. Here's a screenshot of what it looks like through a cell phone. There's a cell phone, or you can use the website. Either one will work here. We get live hash rates, submitted shares, block finds, and if a block gets found anywhere else on the dashboard, there's multiple places to know that people using your platform did find a block. So example, we're going to come into here and we're going to look at events and explore. And here we can see right here is we got a LuqEE miner spotlight happening, found 4 hours ago, July 31st at 9:12 a.m. Someone did hit a Bitcoin Cash block here. We're 3.126 Bitcoin Cash. Here is their block number, the value of it. And we can click and view that miner. We can see everything they got here. So they are rocking about 11.2 terahash. They've got the total of the coins here, lifetime value. So they found one block utilizing this platform here. Also coming into, where is it? Global messages. This is interesting. 5 Bitcoin Cash blocks found in one historic event. A new LuqEE record was set as 5 LuqEE miners found 5 Bitcoin Cash blocks and earned a combined 15.626 Bitcoin Cash during a single power mining event. 2 more mining events are coming next week. So these events are pretty much giving you boosted hash rate on top of the current plan that you have. And it looks like anybody can be eligible for this if you have a subscription plan. So I know a lot of you guys are probably like, okay, these are all just fake numbers. What are all these blippity blips and bloppity blops going on? You know, for me, I agree. It's just there for display purposes, but the numbers and stuff are real. And you can actually cross-reference this, because this is how you can actually separate something legitimate from a scam. You have an audit trail that is there, and every block is obviously found on chain. You can check the blocks and see where they came from. You can also cross-reference the block numbers on the public Bitcoin Cash Block Explorer or directly through the pool that they utilize, which is MolePool. So here is the pool that they use, and you can run through here and actually check everything that's going on within the pool itself as well. All right, so let's kind of come back and touch up on this power mining event. What the heck is it? And it is essentially boosted hash rate, as they inject about 180 to 300 petahash into here about once a week. So everybody gets, a shot at that if you have a paid plan. So to participate in the event's boosted power specifically, you use power passes. So I think those power passes are somewhere in. When you go to the store here, you should be able to see, yeah, here's the boost. So here are essentially the power passes you get in here. Now, some you can pay for individually, and you can use chips and all this stuff for it. So these also come automatically with paid plans here, obviously. The LuqEE miner gets 2 per month. So that's kind of what we looked at earlier. So let's go back into the core here, and you can see our base miner. So I believe your LuqEE miner, yeah. So your LuqEE miner is that 1 terahash version. Your Pro miner here is that 5 terahash. The 2 ones that I predicted are probably going to be the most popular. So coming into the booster, LuqEE miner again gets 2 per month, and the Pro gets 3, and so on as the tiers get higher. So you're getting a bunch of free hash from the farm themselves, a couple times a week. Possibly, maybe it only ends up once or twice a month here, but depending on your plan, you will get each one. So again, twice per month on the LuqEE miner, 3 per month on the LuqEE miner Pro version, and 4 probably on the next one, and so on. So it is per month here, and they run these things weekly and kind of split it all up here between all the people that have their paid plans. So you're actually getting more when you have those subscription plans. So facility status here, you can check on their facilities, and here we can see in red they have some facilities down. So right here you can see a LuqEE facility is the big circle. I'm not 100% sure what the online one is. Obviously red is outage, and yellow is maintenance. But here we can see the ones with the circle here. We can click on it. We can see where it is. So this is Texas number 8, Texas 5. Everything here is obviously Texas. We got Indiana here is a couple. This one is down. Then we can tell you why the outage is going on here, and so on. So you have all the information available. Also straight in your dashboard, it does have a pop-up saying Minnesota to United States. Local power authority has issued a notice to curtail. The mine facility will be powered down between the hours, and it gives you all the information there based on that. So they give you the live updates here if something's going on. You have the boost of hash rate going on here. And again, now coming in and actually looking at the prices, these deals actually aren't too bad. Again, the subscription is cheaper. You are saving a bit, but you're also getting with this one right here, the LuqEE miner, 2 of those monthly boosts in your hash rate. And again, you can use this for Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin, depending on whatever you are utilizing for yourself. And it all split up here. So here's Bitcoin. You can adjust your wheel here, 100%, 50, whatever. Bitcoin Cash, you adjust your wheel and so on like there. All right, so here's another thing. Real lucky miners are finding solo Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash blocks. So obviously any platform can just come back and say, look, we're finding blocks like crazy. But here, they're actually showing you which block number they found. So you can go to the Explorer, you can research these things and actually see if they're lying to you or not. So that's a great thing to see, instead of saying, hey, look, we found a block. I'm not telling you which one it is, but we found blocks. Trust us, bro. Like, some platforms that are trying to scam you would be doing. All right, guys, so I decided to go in and do a deep dive on this miner's claim to see if it's real. By deep dive, I mean I went in and utilized AI to do the research for me, because why not? That's what it's there for. Don't use it for bad things, use it for good things like this. So what the blockchain proves: BCH Block 961818 is real. Obviously, it was mined on July 30th, 2026, and paid a total reward of 3.12546431 Bitcoin Cash, which correctly rounds to the 3.1255 BCH shown by LuqEE, the block's Coinbase message contains. So CoinDance also identifies block as a MolePool block. We just confirmed that that's the pool that LuqEE uses and puts your hash rate to. Therefore, the publicity verifiable answer is the winning work was submitted through MolePool. The blockchain does not reveal the physical ASIC model, mining facility, LuqEE account name. We know all that stuff here. So is the claim true? LuqEE claims that its user, Is John, found the block while using a 10 petahash per second power pass through MolePool. The date, block height, pool, and exact reward all match the blockchain's record. LuqEE also claimed nearby blocks 961810 and 96812, and CoinDance independently identifies those as MolePool blocks too. That makes the claim plausible and internally consistent, but is not independently proven by the blockchain. Obviously, the blockchain doesn't show this stuff. So anyway, everything coming into here is definitely looking like LuqEE here, who verts your hash through MolePool, has found these blocks, and they're showing it right through their blockchain right here. So on their dashboard. So it is looking like they're legitly finding blocks through their platform. Now, a cool thing I do see coming soon is custom pools. So the ability to use, I guess, any pool that you want. Right now, the default public pools is just MolePool or Solo Pool. So being able to use something like 2 miners or CK pool or whatever the heck you want, power pool, that is going to be pretty awesome into the future. Right now, I'm assuming maybe they have some type of contract that they got a agreement with MolePool for now, and then once it's over, they can open it up to everybody. Again, that's not confirmed. I'm just guessing at that point. It could be nothing, but it's nice to see that custom pools will be coming soon. Now, with that being said, here are a couple success stories that go through. Here's TMRig01. They found this block number right here, and it's currently worth $14.60 at the time that it was found. So obviously Bitcoin Cash was higher in price at that point. So that's awesome here. But it says, mining always felt so complicated to me, but LuqEE made it simple. And just a month in, I found my first block. It looks like they had 100 gigahash here. And that was in March 22nd of 2026. All right, so now we have another one here, Kashi, who found this block here. We're 3.1317, which might have had some extra fees in it. This one was worth $918, as I guess the price was coming down at that point. Looks like June 1st of 2026 for 50.6 terahash here. He says, 2 months later, I still can't believe it. I mined another block with LuqEE. I came back to mining thinking maybe I get lucky once, but now landing, and it keeps changing away on me. But now landing a second block makes it feel even more real. LuqEE has made mining fun and exciting again. So that's pretty awesome. So I kind of hinted at finding 5 blocks in May between 5 different miners here. And just coming in and looking at here, a hat trick event happened in LuqEE history. So the very first one, April, also gave us one of the biggest moments in LuqEE history, where it looks like 3 people found solo mining blocks. That is pretty awesome. 3 people in the 1 month. And solo blocks are coming more and more popular as more and more people are moving to solo mining, and more people are actually reporting it. So it's very interesting. We always just say it's next to impossible, never going to happen. I still stand by those things, but we are hearing of more and more people finding solo blocks with hardly any hash rate. So that is pretty exciting. All right, guys, so that pretty much is it in a nutshell. One, choose your mining power, connect your wallet, track and find blocks. It's pretty basic and straightforward here, guys. Thank you for checking out this video. And if at any time you want to check this out for yourself, that link will be down in the description. And let me know your thoughts and comments on this whole situation versus picking up new solo Bitcoin miners for yourself. And depending on the higher your power price here, obviously the better this is looking, like, because you won't have extra power bills. You're not going to have all this maintenance and miners just laying around when you shut them off. It's just a simply 1 month subscription, 1 week, yearly, whatever you want to do, and you don't have to worry about tripping over things and having stuff laying on the floor all the time, as well as dusty conditions and noise and whatever else is going on. So thank you for checking out this video. I'm curious of your thoughts and opinions. Hit that subscribe button. I will see you on the next one. Rabid out.